The chair of the new Environmental Council?
Well, once we approve Resolution 7, then right now it's provisional. I was elected chair of the Environmental Council for the DNC, which is newly created. I authored the resolution, I brought it, but it's provisional. So we're going to be voting. We had a meeting before we got approved because after this meeting, everyone's going to leave. There'd be no chance to have our first meeting. And I have to say, the DNC enabled us to do that. They arranged the room for us, and they worked with us.
Right.
I mean, I think we need praise where praise is due.
It can be.
I have Alan Minsky from PDA.
We know each other a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, I agree. This is huge. But there is the risk of, like what happened in the House with AOC pushing for a committee and it being stacked with people who take oil money, and the same thing happened here. How are we going to be able to support you in having that not happen?
So everyone already did. The thing about DNC councils is that they're made up of DNC members and non-DNC members.
Right.
And we had so many environmentalists there. We elected a great team. And also we structured the bylaws in such a way that we will have a representative from the Native American community, from the African American community, from the Latinx community. And they all, to become members, to officers, you have to ascribe to the bylaws, which uphold the environment, fighting climate change, and environmental justice. So,
but what does it say anything about the fossil fuel industry?
The other thing is, I put in an ethics provision in the bylaws.
Yeah.
So if you have a conflict of interest and you're running, you have to reveal it, and before any vote that would involve anything like that, you would have to refrain from the discussion if there's a conflict of interest.
That
and refrain
is
from voting.
an important factor, I think.
And I think it's really important when we look at any DNC council or any party entity like that being set up, we need to start thinking about ethics and conflict of interest provisions.
I agree.
I didn't see them in any of the other bylaws. It's probably more important for this than say for the disability council.
You get big props for this
in the world.
I'm sorry.
You get big props for this because there is a lot of lobbyists that are DNC members. This is not a big secret, I think.
Absolutely. So there's a lobbyist for the gasifier industry who is very interested in our council. I'm just going to put it that way. Right. So,
how much does that frustrate you? Because it seems to me that we have a really clear Democratic Party platform on these issues, and yet this stuff still goes on, and it's not cohesive with the platform.
So I think the platform matters a lot when you elect a Democratic president.
Yeah.
But what does the platform do absent a president? I mean, I use it to inform how we created the Environmental Climate Crisis Council, referred to it, and it was able to legitimate it. But it is a presidential platform, really. I mean, so
that's fair.
Yeah, but the other thing I think we all need to start doing is thinking about that platform. How we can start. Generally, it's a very isolated process. And in fairness, if we have a Democratic president, the platform should reflect that person's values. But we can still help inform it and still help make sure it's law.
Absolutely. What do you think, Alan?
Right. Well,
so are you going to... Yeah.
Oh, well, no, the Sanders campaign, of course, had a big influence on the environmental planks in the platform because that was a very highly contested nomination process.
Right.
And there were Sanders people who were very vocal, particularly on the environment and on a number of other issues. But I just want to say that, I'm very close to Susie Shannon. I did speak at the first Poverty Council meeting, and I was an activist involved in the formation of that council and supporting Susie, who took such an initiative. And I just want to say I am really committed in PDA to tracking your work on the Environment Council, being an ally of yours, and really with you in solidarity with you, having it be a powerful force for environmental policies that are responsive to what the science tells us needs to be the case as of where we are in history right now.
We're going to figure out how to leverage this.
So can I ask you about a Washington Post headline that came out this morning that I'm not sure that either of you have seen?
No, I haven't. I've been politicking since 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, no doubt. It basically makes the case that Bernie Sanders' environmental plan is worse than Donald Trump's wall as far as economics, etc. are concerned. I think this is that's the right reaction. When I read, I haven't gotten deeper into the article yet, but just the headline alone was so... What did I just read? You know what I'm saying? How can somebody think this way? Because this is really an existential problem. If we don't solve the climate change problem, none of these...
No, you answer first because...
No, I need to read the article because that shocks the heck out of me. You know...
Does it though? All right, go.
Well,
what I want to say is I do think my feeling is we do have to be realistic about what we're up against. Coming out of the Great Recession of 2008, the one sector that contributed more for the domestic economy lifting out of its crisis, two sectors. One, tax breaks for the wealthy so there could be stock buybacks to artificially inflate Wall Street, and fracking and oil extraction. That's the reality of the American economy. Trump has loosened regulation. It continues to boom. So, yes, people are going to say that you take out the most vibrant, functioning sector of the economy, you're going to have some real problems.
Yeah.
And they're, of course, they are going to not believe that this can be done through a federal set of programs, regulations, and positions that demand the development of a green economy. Obviously, Sanders would argue that would replace the other industries' collapse with something that was just as vibrant. But they don't believe it, and I think that's their logic. But we have to realize what we're up against.
Was that the argument in the article?
I can only anticipate it.
That's pretty much. I haven't gotten deep into it either because I just saw it when I sat down.
So like he said, right?
Yeah. I'm just more concerned at this point of the way that things are being framed, because I think framing is an important part of the narrative. And when you make these sort of bombastic claims in this direction without really considering how people, a lot of people don't read past a headline. Or if they do, they read 2 paragraphs in. If it's something that's like, 15, 1600 words long, they tune out. I mean, that's sort of a reality. It's very troublesome to me to see that sort of
I don't think we can make any mistake about it that those forces are huge.
Yeah.
They huge amounts of money, huge amounts of power.
Yeah.
They control the FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, right now, and those positions. They don't want a president who's going to replace those
massive regulatory capture. You're right. That's the other part of the problem.
And they will fight that.
Tooth and nail.
So anyone who's really, truly going to take them on, tooth and nail, because so much is at stake for them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in a way, I feel like this is almost the upending of the plutonomy, which is the Citibank word that they used in that memo, 10, 12 years ago. And there has been such a consolidation at the top of money and power, money, power, right? So these folks really do control aspects of regulatory capture, Congress is bought, like all of these things are intertwined. And I think they are actually genuinely worried. It's that whole idea, what was AOC's line where she said they have money, we have people. There is a hell of a lot more of us than there are of them. And I think as Americans become more woke, now not to beat the dead horse on that word, but as they're more aware of how ingrained money in politics is, and they get angry about it, they're worried that some actual change is going to be forced through in a way.
That's a funny thing. This is a really side thought, but if you actually look at the emergence of fracking, this was this technology of pumping these chemicals down, water filled with chemicals, the side drilling and all this stuff. I bet you that this was probably developed on an American university campus doing research with taxpayer dollars. So, democracy. Yeah, no, I know you got to go.
Oh,
I do.
Thank you so much for no, thank you.